Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Ionia and we'll be facing off against the Mastery adventure from the Rogues of Runeterra campaign. I figured since I needed to beat this adventure with a Noxian champion, I should use one that's relatively low star like Ionia. So we have the same setup we usually use on Ionia, which is a more budget version of what you should play on Ionia. We have Echoing Spirit and Grand General's counterplan, so you get a bunch of copies of Ionia's champion spell, the Disintegrate. And then you have Lauron Blade Rack, so that everything has Challenger while Ionia is on the board, so we can kill stuff that's been hit by the Disintegrate. Normally this setup works because Disintegrate draws a card when you play it, so you can just use it as a cantrip a bunch of times. But we don't have Disintegrate in our deck, so I wonder how things will work out now that we can no longer just infinitely draw the Disintegrate. Galio, Thrashy, Lowy. Shadow Owls would be good with our game plan, but unfortunately Thrash is not. The Massey is interesting because it does give me access to buff spells, which are nice in this adventure thanks to its power. We do need something that will eventually close out the game, and double Galio might do it. Let's do it. See how things work out for us. Mountain's Peak, Duelist, Dragon's Rage. We need something better. Explosive Entrance, Boarding Party, Shared Mana Flow. Okay, that's a pretty easy choice. While Explosive Entrance is good at closing out the game, the Boarding Party just means we can just use whatever units we play to pull with the Ionia, and that will in turn ensure a kill on the opponent's units. So that's a no-brainer. I would pick the Boom Crew Rookie if it wasn't one more mana. Let's reroll. Radiant Strike is a decent protection spell with the barrier, so let's pick it up. I guess we'll pick up Winds of War as well. Mistress Stealthy is interesting. We need cheaper cards, cheaper units. Rictus. Sure, we draw Rictus at the start of the game. None of these are that great. Same thing here. I guess Formless Blade, it can kind of work with our Disintegrates. Let's pick up the Petricite Broadwing. Guess Ravenous Flock works decently enough. Ship for 1, I guess. This draft is weird, but I think we can make it work. We are going to be able to place something alongside the Ionia on the first turn. Let's toss all of these. I guess I'll keep the Boom Ship because it's 1 mana deal 1. I would like to get 2 Ionias in the opening hand at least. There it is. I'm pretty sure that the Disintegrates don't have the draw 1. Oh, they do. I guess it's just an inherent thing to the card. That makes things a lot easier for me. I can just disintegrate that thing. We can kind of use it as a cantrip by doing this. Then we hit here just to avoid overdrawing. We add 2 cards to our hand at the next round start, and I think we need both of them. So let's do it like so. But that increases my next instance of damage by 3. So this deals 5 to something, so it also kills there. Okay. That's a very good first turn. I could have actually killed that. I forgot about the raiding party. I could have killed that thing, so I avoided the opponent stealing one of my cards. Let's... we're going to mill a card. If I do disintegrate, let's stun disintegrate. Any levels up, but any leveling up is not important. We can hit the opponent with the Formless Blade. I didn't mill a card, okay. Nice. Let's see the Formless Blade there to kill the opponent's unit. The opponent attacks with the 4/4. We'll just do this, avoid taking damage. We are running Noxus after all, so we don't really have access to a lot of regeneration outside of the 2 we get by default. We can do Rictus. Stunning the Ionia, okay. Let's do Rictus again. I think we can kill 2 of the opponent's units just by doing this. Yeah, because of the extra damage we get off of the love tap from the boarding party. So we're working to keep things under control. Your attack and support effects. I wonder if it works with our power, because it's when allies attack. So it might work. Let's do stun there. Opponent attacks. Let's do a kill there. And then I can buff up the Ionia out of range, also trading in. This kind of messes up my plan. I wanted to go for Tibers and kill 2 units. I suppose this works fine as well. By killing 2 of the opponent's units and preventing all of the damage. Start on the Headmistress, because I'm curious to see how it interacts. Do I get double procs from our power? No, not from our power, but from the in his attack effect we get double procs. I need to hit this first before attacking with Ionia, otherwise she won't kill it with her effect. I'm drawing way too much. Now it's no longer in the range. Let's do that there, I suppose. I need cheaper cards to play alongside the Ionia. At the very least, we're slowly and surely killing the opponent with Molten Shell and love taps. Baronier, yep. I can go double Galio here. You know what? That's cool. Let's do that. buffs up our board a little bit, allows us to safely protect ourselves, at least somewhat. One that attacks with one. Interesting decision by him. I figured he would attack with everything, just to deal damage to our Nexus. But I guess he is afraid he loses one. Or he loses his units. How do I want to do this? Let's stun there. That way sort of spellcast for the, or double spellcast for the turn. I just want to try and create a situation where at least one of my units connects with the opponent's Nexus. And I just attack with everything. The Admistress will double up, so the Annie's attack effect, so we can pull here. And then it doesn't really matter how we pull. I guess it matters that we don't let the opponent block the Galdi, so it deals more damage that way. Because no matter how he blocks here, both the opponent's units are dying to the love tap. Okay, turns out Galdi was the correct choice. I just need to streamline this deck a little bit. I think we don't need the dragons, the mountain drakes. So they're probably out of the deck. All these are pretty bad. I guess I'll pick up the Lohan Duelist just so I have board peasants. Gold chest or shop? We're going for the shop. I don't care about the gold. I already have enough gold to spend at the shop. Annie, please. There she is. Okay, these are too many Annies. It would be nice to start the game with one extra mana, but what can you do? That's scary. I don't want to double draw. So let's... It's kind of a waste to use the Guile there. I just want to avoid double drawing with the Disintegrate. I didn't really need to Disintegrate though. The love tap and his effect is more than enough to kill that. But we don't really need more than 2 Disintegrates in hand, I think. Here I want to do this. We'll use Rictus to block one. And then we'll use the Radiant Strike to block another while protecting the Annie. And then we can do this and this. 2 of them die, and I only take 5 damage.
I want to play a game of hide and burn. It all falls down.
Ooh, Formless Blade. That's going to be nice alongside the Disintegrate in order to kill that thing next turn. We just pull that with Annie and it dies. Let's do the Laurent Protégé so we can pull 2 things. Turns out it was the correct decision. Let's do that there. We draw 2. There's our win con. Really? You don't want to play these dual cats opponent? Don't you want to give me the ability to just remove 2 of your units? Or 2 other units besides these ones? Probably not. He is going to get the rainbow fish in hand, so next turn he is going to be able to give something else elusive. Fortunately, we drew another Formless Blade. That's another bird speed piece of removal. It's fine. That's not fine though. I can guile that. Since we're doubling up the guile, it goes through the spell shield. That, on the other hand, is a problem. Winds of War kind of works. In order to pop the spell shield, I guess we'll use the Disintegrate. I just want to be able to do something to it once the opponent inevitably plays a rainbow fish on it. Because I know for a fact it will happen. Yep, there it is. I have options here. I can do Formless Blade, Ravenous Flock. I can do Winds of War, Ravenous Flock. Honestly, I think that's the correct choice. Fully heal an ally, then that ally and an enemy strike each other. Give targeted allies barrier this round. Why is this not getting barrier? Does it only get barrier after the cast? I kind of want to test it out, but I don't want to lose this unit because it's important. For the sake of science, let's do this. Okay, it only gives the unit barrier after the damage goes through. Good to know. So it's significantly worse than I anticipated. Well, now that's a contender for removal instead of the Mountain Drake. Can go double Galio here. Can go for Skarmother Vrina. Let's do Skarmother Vrina. It's a decent play. Then we do Guile. Sure, let's do Guile. Then we just attack with both the units. Do this. Do a little bit of damage to the opponent's nexus with each attack. I missed the order though. Yeah, it's fine. Buffs up this Skarmother Vrina. Let's remove that spell shield. Just don't want the opponent to be able to put the rainbow fish on something that's that has spell shield on it, because it's going to be harder to remove. Galio. Yeah, I can go Galio here. The opponent attacks with the Hungry Wild. Hellcat. I was about to say it's fine, but it's not actually fine. Because I won't be able to do Disintegrate into Formless Blade. Well, it's only 8 damage. How bad can it possibly be? And then next turn we can attack with the Gallios, and they're both leveled up, and the opponent's going to take 1 billion damage. And then he dies. At least I hope he dies. With the Ionia, prevent the opponent from blocking the high damage units. Nice. Okay, second encounter significantly harder than the first one. Mostly because it managed to push through and deal damage to my Nexus. That damage is going to stick. We only have 4 regeneration. Aftershock, Might, Ballistic Bot. I guess we're taking Aftershock. It's a bit slow, but it might work. Mystic Shot is very good. Rush them down's meh. Sure, let's do Rush them down. Let's pick up some Mystic Shots because Mystic Shot's a very good card. And it's even better when it deals extra damage, which it does because of our power and the item it has on it. Probably deals like 6 damage now. 2 mana deals 6 to anything is huge. This is a fine hand. You can do any, disintegrate something.
Come out.
Does the debuff stick? Yeah, it does. It increases the cost of the disintegrate. It's a bit annoying. But... nah. I was about to say we can still kill this 6-6, but I don't need to kill the 6-6. Actually, I can because of the love tap. I keep forgetting about that. But yeah, we don't need to kill the 6-6, we can just let it be. Kill the elusive instead. It's a little bit of a bigger threat. It's fine. We'll stun the 6-6. Prevent that from attacking. Don't prank. Oh, I wanted to play that this turn. Well, at least I'll be able to level up the Ionia.
I wanna play a game of
Though leveling up the Ionia doesn't really influence our game plan all that much. We still want to just control the board through disintegrates. And Ionia is the tool for control. Rictus, sure. It fits a little bit better with our curve. I can go for some damage this turn. Or I can go for removal this turn. I'm going to remove the opponent's units. No reason not to do so. Ooh. That kills the Rictus. I can protect it with the Radiant Strike. I'm going to do it. It's fine. We can keep Rictus around. He's a very decent unit. Might even be able to give us more value off of the Tibers. Now that's a problem. We don't want to let the elusive hit us at all. So we're definitely guiling that this turn. The question is, what do we do after that? Might be able to disintegrate Tibers. Let's just do Tibers by default. Kills that Kelp Maiden, those Kelp Maidens, and deals a little bit of damage to the Anemone. Prevents the attack from happening. The opponent passes, and I'm definitely taking that pass. Attacks then the strongest back row enemy. Well, now Rictus no longer does anything special. Guess we'll just develop another unit. Opponent's going to prank everything that I have in hand. While annoying, it's not that bad. We'll pull here. Actually, let's do this first. so we can kill that
It all falls down.
with using the what's it called? Boarding party? Yeah. Attack like so, pull here. And it doesn't really matter how I pull the rest. Actually it does. If you pull this like so and he survives and we protect the Tibers.
It's almost time.
There. Really? You're dealing 2 to my Nexus. That's a bit rude. Just burning my Nexus like that. Are you going to spend your entire turn pranking me? No, it seems not. Good. Let's do Galio. Set up a kill next turn. Ooh. The opponent doesn't want me to play this Mystic Shot at all, it seems. Fortunately, I can win without relying on the Mystic Shot. Let's just attack with everything. And game over for the opponent. Nice. Still, the opponent managed to deal damage to my Nexus yet again. Incredibly annoying. Against Veigar it's going to be a problem, because I'm going to need to stick Ionia onto the board in order to do something relevant. And without protection for Ionia I won't be able to do so. Pythos is very good. I could go for the monastery for a card cut, but I want to purchase something. A natural selection. Would I even be able to proc that? Probably not. This is 2 keywords, this is 3. Barrier is a 4th one. Challenger is a 5th one. And I don't know if ephemeral counts. Well, I'm going to take it just in case I'll be able to proc it. Mana Soul Student. That's a way to close out the game. You know what, I'm going to take it. It's a card that's by default in Ionie's deck and it's not really that bad. It helps close out the game faster. Here, I think I want to cut the Winds of War, now that we know that the barrier only applies after the damage goes through. It's a very bad card. At least with this deck setup. Definitely want an Ionia and a Pythos, because the opponent's going to have Veigar in his opening board, and I want to get rid of the Veigar as soon as possible. Because yeah, that's a 6 mana darkness right there, or a 6 damage darkness right there. You know what, let's let him, yeah, use the darkness, deal 6 to my Nexus. At least that way I don't run the risk of the opponent removing Ionia right away. I can do this. Hopefully we'll be able to draw into a backup Ionia. There she is. Okay, so everything's fine then. The main concern was not being able to replace Ionia in case I needed to. After the opponent used the darkness to kill her or something. Now that concern is does no longer exist. Let's do this. It will give Ionia an item. I was hoping for a spell shield, but that works as well, kind of. It helps buff Ionia a little bit. We won't be able to buffer out of range. Oh, the darkness is hitting my Nexus. That's cool. Do Perilous Pastry, kill that. The opponent's Veigar is leveled up. Might double up on the Mystic Shot next turn. We're burning a bunch of cards because we don't have enough hand space. Actually, it doesn't double up on the Mystic Shot if we target the opponent's Nexus. Well, at least we can use the Mystic Shot to kill Veigar right away. Let's try to empty our hand. Do this to restore a bit of health. Because we're desperately in need of health. Drain 4, drain 4. Let's protect the Ionia. He's taking his whole turn to do that, basically. That's fine by me. Please stop trying to remove the Ionia. We'll stand there just to prevent the opponent from attacking with that. What do I even do here? I have backup Ionia, so we're fine on that front. Ionia can die this turn. Let's do Rictus then. Tenor of Terror. Okay. Let's do Tibers, I suppose. We'll do Tibers because we have no better plays and we want to use our mana. We'll attack like so. Let's keep control of the board, I guess. If the opponent wants to use that to block the Tibers, I'll let him. I'll just use the Disintegrate in response and that thing will die. Okay, I guess he doesn't want to block with that. We have no answer in case the opponent has another Veigar. I guess the answer would be stun Ravenous Flock. But it doesn't appear like the opponent has another Veigar. So we're safe to just Galio.
Light is a lure in the dark. Magic goes in, might comes
Now, we need to find a way to get Galio through to the opponent's Nexus. I guess we will rally once one of my units takes damage. So we can just do this. Force the opponent's hand if he wants to block. And one of my units takes damage, he dies. And if he doesn't block, he also dies. Like so.
Wasn't it fun?
Honestly, I would be pleased with either an item for Galio or Ionia, considering they're both putting in a decent amount of work when it comes to closing this game. Blue buff. Ionia would only benefit from blue buff after leveling up. Arthi rations would be interesting on Galio. Let's do blue buff on Ionia. It allows me to go for more spellcasts. Only when Ionia levels up though. Ooh. With double boarding party, can the opponents even stick some units onto the board? Because all I have to do is pull them and they die. Let's go for this one. The reward seem better. Yeah, because boarding party is 6 damage now. Because it's 2 instances of 3. I'll keep the Formless Blade and the Ionia. That thing dies. The only problem is overdrawing.
This way.
Let's do this. It will kill that thing, deal 6 to the opponent's Nexus. I can also do Disintegrate Formless Blade. We're going to draw twice because of that. But I think it's fine. Just for the sake of getting rid of the opponent's units. Okay, we got Radiant Strike, so we're fine. We'll be able to use Zany as a blocker next turn. And turns out, getting double draws every turn when you have a not expensive card, but on the border of expensive, it becomes kind of a problem.
I want to play a game of hide and burn.
We're definitely cutting the Mountain Drake next.
My friend and I are soul collectors.
What do I even do here? Let's play with our health.
And you're paying.
We'll do this. I'll actually let Tainy die. This refills our spell mana. We can go Annie.
Come out.
We'll use the Mystic Shot to kill that there. And it's the best turn I could possibly take, I think. There were other plays there, definitely. But I think this is overall better. A little bit better. It allows me to develop the Mana Soul Student, which is a very sticky unit. And then we can kill 2 units here. Set up so that next turn we kill even more units. And we start using the Magic Embers to slowly and surely damage the opponent's Nexus. Let's also do Shield of Duran, buff up the Annie. Make use of the double cast on the spell.
The dark beckons.
We'll stun here. The opponent might go ahead and play a additional unit. Yeah, that's what I expected. At least this way I can go for Tibers. I'm only going to take 3 here. So things are not too bad. They're pretty bad still though. But I knew what I was getting into when I decided to play against Ionia. Here I would like to develop 2 units, but I can't. I can only develop 1, so I'll do 1 so I can double up the Mystic Shot in case the opponent plays something large. Except they didn't. In that case, let's just do this. We'll deal a bunch of damage to the opponent's Nexus with the Annie. Oh, I was kind of expecting the opponent to have something to play there that would help him survive. He did have 4 mana after all. Guess I was wrong. I was planning way further ahead. Thinking about using the extra spell mana to remove one of the opponent's units. Let's do Rictus. Rictus is a good card. So buffing it up seems nice. Speed wraps. Yeah, sure. We don't need the Philosopher's Stone Fortunately, we have all the draw we need. Trabim Improbulator would be nice if I had 3 cost cards. Officer Backup is huge actually. It's one additional unit and I definitely want that. Spell chest or item chest? I think spell chests are more important. So let's go for the Mirror Mage. The Arena Kingpin encounter would be nice. I know for a fact it has a very nice power that you can purchase there. But unfortunately I don't have enough money for it. Let's skip the Pythos. I need Disintegrates. I use any, combined with the Disintegrates, more than enough to kill the... Yep, that Mirror Mage he gets at the start of the game.
Come out, wherever you are.
Look at your work, my love.
It's fine. We'll be able to kill that this turn using the Sting Officer. I didn't want him for the effect, I just want him for the body. Can do this. Bam bam. And then again I have Boom Ship. Let's do the Boom Ship. This way we avoid overdrawing next turn. We don't get extra spell mana, but it's fine. Oh, we overdraw because of the Ionia level up. Oh well, it's not like we were using that our deck all that much. All we need to do is really just protect Ionia and we're fine. Let's do 2-drop. Hopefully we'll be able to fight toss. Yeah, let's do Pythos. We'll give Rictus a bunch of items. Get double Perilous Pastry. That's something we can throw at the opponent's face to kill him. Doesn't really matter what I do here, I think. Let's just do add Mr. Stealthy. Get more attack effects.
Discipline and steel.
This significantly increases the amount of damage we deal with the Ionia. And that means we can set up so that we kill the opponent next turn with just either Mystic Shots or Perilous Pastries. Actually no, we don't even need to wait for the next turn. The blue buff came in clutch, giving us the extra mana we needed. Well then, I guess we're right here at the end. Pythos, doubling dice, twin disciplines, yeah, doubling dice. Getting more copies of it will be nice. Guard, Flurry of Fists, Weight of Judgment. Unfortunately, none of these are that great, but let's reroll. We have one last reroll. Nah, we're moving on from that. And we're cutting the Mountain Drake. Unfortunately, it's just really not that great. We would rather have smaller units. Something that can be played alongside the Ionia is always good. But none of my units can do that, so something that can be played for cheap we'll have to do. We'll keep this hand. We can throw the Aftershock at the opponent's Mastery next turn if we need. We can double Pythos here as well. Heaven and Tailstones. Buffing up the Mastery, proccing the flow. Let's do Pythos. We don't want to overdraw ourselves. We got unlucky and didn't hit any from the doubling dice, which is nice. We'll just do this, kill both the opponent's units. Deal 6 damage to the opponent's Nexus. Next turn is going to be a problem. But we should be able to pull through. We'll just stun whatever the opponent plays here. Ooh. That would have been a nice thing to have. Well, considering we already have a full hand, we don't really need the extra damage. Can just use stuff like this, the perilous pastries, throw it at the opponent's nexus. Just burn him down that way. We'll do... Well, let's do perilous pastry so that we pass priority back to the opponent, see what he does. He's passing. Well then, let's do Rictus. It has double focusing crystal, so it's going to be buffed up by a lot once we start casting a bunch of spells.
Spirit lives on.
There it is. That's what I was waiting for. Oh, we'll do this. If the opponent wants to block with the Spirit of Wuju, so be it. I wanted to avoid doubling the disintegrates for the sake of my hand space.
Fallen petal.
Turns out I get to do that. Low. He has 5 mana.
To those who listen.
Let's stun here. I'm going to Tibbers, whatever he plays next. Ooh, fortunately I used the Gal first. That way we could avoid it being countered.
Not all mean well.
Really?
In, breathe out.
Oh, really? Right, I guess it doesn't matter if the opponent attacks with something that dies or not, because of his power. Well, the opponent's dying here and that's all that matters. We'll just hit Mistress, get double the effect from the Ionia, so that way we can attack like so and deal a bunch of damage to the opponent's Nexus. Okay, he's recalling the Head Mistress. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Most of my damage was already on the stack anyway. Ooh, that was fun. I definitely had to think a lot about what I was doing, but I managed to pull through. So yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.